let's see. Pope Leo 14th issued historic AI encyclical. Disarm artificial intelligence.
Encyclical.
Encyclical. Oh. Define. Okay. Form of pastoral letter written by the Pope. Oh, specifically to the Pope. Primarily addressed to Catholic bishops, but intended for the entire church. Encyclical. Okay. Disarm artificial intelligence. Pope Leo XIV took direct aim at the power of big tech in his first encyclical, warning that artificial intelligence risks widening inequality. It does. Weakening democracy and undermining what it means to be human. I mean, AI should be regulated. We are getting to the stage where regulations do have to come into effect. I personally think you should be. I mean, I don't know where AI is going to go, but there is definitely dystopian futures, and I would like to steer humanity away from those. The 83-page document titled Magnificia Humanitius. Okay. I butchered it. Let's.
Magnifica Humanitas.
Humanitas. Sounds like an old Roman name. Humanitas. Magnifica Humanitas.
Magnifica Humanitas.
Alright, there we go. Frames AI as the new industrial revolution and calls for AI to be disarmed by removing it from militaries and economic interests. So you're not getting it. You're not getting that. The war in Ukraine is going to drive AI into military, and it's going to drive it hard. You're going to see autonomous weapons, and there's not a lot we can do unless you can stop that war. You're just going to see this tech evolve. Like, you chat. First humanoid robot sent to Ukraine for war. Like, they're there. They're sending Phantom MK1. Images, let's go. They're sending humanoid-like robots to the front line in Ukraine. I imagine they're going to be pretty crap initially, but the initial ones are just there to gather data. Like, they're just there to start the process of gathering the data in order to build humanoid robots. First human, yes, as of February/March 2026, Ukraine has received what are widely reported to be the first humanoid robots ever sent to an active war zone, making a historic moment in modern warfare. First humanoid robots in real war, Phantom MK1. The robots are 2 units of the Phantom MK1 developed by the U.S. robotic startup Foundation in San Francisco. They arrived in Ukraine in February 2026 and have been deployed for frontline testing. Initial focus on reconnaissance and support roles under combat conditions. This is believed to be the first known development of humanoid robots, machines shaped like humans, able to walk and use their limbs in an actual armed conflict. They're not autonomous, right? It is designed to operate much like a human soldier, capable of walking, navigating rough terrain, and even using various small arms. If supervised by humans. Foundation's co-founder has described the mission as reducing humans' casualties by having robots perform the most dangerous tasks in place of soldiers. Like, they're going to step on a landmine, and you're going to be out several $1 million. Like, that's what's going to happen. The deployment is part of a broader trend where Ukraine is serving as real-world testbed for cutting-edge military technology. including drones and other unmanned systems. Like, in my opinion, this is the turning point of the war in Ukraine. They have begun to basically to all Western countries be like, oh, you can come and test military tech in an active war zone here, and we will assist you in testing your military tech. And this is what is leading to just a terrifying level of development in new military technology. Like they have near autonomous weapon like drone systems that just require humans to give kill signals now, like to okay the targets. And now there's humanoid robots going to the front lines. Like they're gonna be shit. Don't get me wrong, but they'll get better. And they'll probably get better very quickly. And like as long as this war in Ukraine persists, you're losing a fight with AI and robots being included into militaries like you just are. The Phantom MK1 is human controlled and not autonomous, correct? Just making sure. Correct. Based on available reporting, the MK1 is not an autonomous combat system. It's described as human controlled humanoid platform, meaning a human operates, provide real team control. Like we see this, like they're already putting these into houses where they're controlled by people and they're just there for data, right? And so putting them into war is the next step. They're gonna do it. The robot does not independently select or engage targets yet. Any use of weapons is intended to remain under direct human supervision and authorization. I still think they're just going to step on a landmine and then be gone. But hey, like that's a human that didn't step on a landmine, right? Okay, ethical and legal debates. This milestone has sparked global debate about the future of warfare, including questions about autonomous weapons, human control over lethal systems, and international law. Topics that are still being actively discussed among militaries, researchers, and policymakers. In short, yes, the Phantom MK1 humanoid robot sent to Ukraine in early 2026 represent the first documented case of humanoid robots being used in an active war setting. The first, but I guarantee you not the last. So we're definitely losing that one. Economic interests, like AI should be a tool that is used to assist people, make them more productive. And Anthropic is doing that. Like their main business is providing AI to other businesses to make them more productive. And they're not profitable yet, but they expect to have their first profitable quarter. It is profitable to do that. And I don't know, like stopping that isn't gonna help. Like at the same time, AI is also providing resources to people that are finding completely new ways of doing things, coming to new understandings, and it is supercharging what an individual can do. Like I expect we will see in the future where you can have like a single individual making an animated movie because AI has gotten to the part where it can keep the context and keep stuff together, and you can have one person making what could have taken like a team of 100 people at Disney to do before. You can already see clips of this everywhere, right? So that like it can already make shorts content that's really good. What happens when it can make longer form content? Make a movie, and now you can have people that work with AI, and they're now directors of their own cinematic universes. Which would mean you'd get a lot more good movies. I haven't seen a good movie in a while. At least not one coming out of Hollywood. And so, like, there's so much good AI can do, and to keep the good and create regulations that prevent the bad, like the copying Mr. Beast to scam you out of money, copy his face or whatever, and create a short, and then that short put on TikTok or wherever, and you got to click the link, and then you lose all your money. Like stopping that aspect of it while still allowing people to use it to be creative. It's going to be a very fine line to walk. And I'm not sure they're capable of it right now. Has anywhere regulated AI yet? And if so, what are the regulations? Let's just have a look. Because I know one of the big ones that I've heard of is preventing chatbots from being used by children. It's like that's not like a wide-reaching regulation. Okay, yes, AI regulation is actively happening right now. We've officially moved past the phase of voluntary guidelines, and major global powers have enacted binding laws. Okay. However, the world has fractured into very different regulatory philosophies. The global landscapes break down to several key approaches. What do we have? All right, let's just read basic description. The European Union, the risk-based hammer. The EU AI Act is the world's first comprehensive horizontal AI law. It is extraterritorial, meaning if you are an American or Canadian company selling AI services into the EU, you must comply or face massive fines.
Extraterritorial.
Extraterritorial. Here. Instead of regulating the technology itself, it regulates the use case based on 4 distinct risk factors. Prohibited AI bans systems that threaten people's safeties and rights are flagged illegal. High risk AI, this covers AI in critical infrastructure, healthcare, policing, and employment. These systems face strict rules. They must pass conformity assessments, log all activity, guarantee human oversight, and use high quality training data to prevent bias. Like the high quality training data is important. Transparent / general purpose AI. Massive foundational models like GPT-4 must disclose their training data parameters. Ooh. Respect copyright laws. I mean, like, they're built off disrespecting copyright laws. What are you talking about? And clearly watermark authentic audio, video, or text so users know they are interacting with an AI. I mean, like, there's whole systems that just like, oh, you can remove the watermark. So that doesn't really do a whole lot. I mean, it's a start. Right? Okay. The United States, federal state civil war. The US does not have a comprehensive federal AI law. Instead, it experiences a major tug-of-war between the federal government and individual states. The federal level deregulatory. The White House has issued an executive order titled Ensuring a National Policy Framework for Artificial Intelligence. The goal is strictly deregulatory competitive, actively removing barriers to ensure American AI dominance over adversaries like China, while attempting to block states from creating an unmanaged patchwork of 50 different rules. state level strict because Congress has enacted, states are passing their own laws anyway. California enacted the Transparency and Frontier AI Act, forcing companies building massive models to publish safety frameworks and declare exactly what copyrighted data they use during training. Illinois and Texas have made it a civil right violation to use AI for hiring or promotion decisions if the algorithm shows discrimination against protected classes. This is not good. Like, this is a patchwork approach. At least the EU has a comprehensive plan, and the US is trying to deregulate it. China, state-directed control. China takes a highly agile, sector-specific approach. It doesn't have one single AI act, but rather updates its national security and cybersecurity laws to control algorithmic output. The focus, the government regulates generative AI to ensure that model outputs align with state-approved values and do not undermine state power. The rules, developers must register their algorithms with the government, undergo security assessments before public release, and ensure the AI-generated content can be immediately traced back to the creator. I mean, that's interesting. Ensure that the AI-generated content can be immediately traced back to the creator. At least they seem to have a better comprehensive system than what the US is doing. But the US is betting on deregulate. You need to regulate it at some point. Deregulation is not going to get you there. South Korea and Singapore, the innovation first approach. Other tech hubs are trying to strike a balance to attract AI startups fleeing strict European rules. That's the problem, right? You input strict rules, and all of a sudden you've got companies going elsewhere, and then maybe the next big Google left your country because you tried to overregulate them. I mean, it's such a delicate balance. I don't know. South Korea passed the AI Basic Act, making it a second nation globally to establish a comprehensive framework. However, it mandates explicit focuses on promoting innovation while putting safety boundaries only around high impact systems. They don't want their AI companies fleeing. Singapore launched the world's first Angenic AI governance framework. It provides concrete testing tools and sandboxes for companies to prove their AI agents are safe, preferring voluntary compliance and standard settings over heavy fines. So it's a patchwork of things. Like, I think there's going to need to be like some kind of summit where major companies get together, major countries get together, and set a basic framework for AI, because the benefits are amazing and the risks are also terrifying. And if you don't come together and set like some standard regulation, you end up with places like the United States, which federally tries to deregulate AI as much as possible, and even tries to prevent states from creating their own regulation. That's going to be dangerous. I mean, the Encyclical, I think he's on the right track. How far through this did I get? 83-page document. Oh, and this is what I was talking about. Magnifica Humanitas.
Magnifica Humanitas.
Humanitas, that's right. Frames AI as the new industrial revolution and calls for AI to be disarmed by removing it from military. That's not going to happen. Economic interest, also not going to happen. Leo signed the Encyclical on May 15th, the same day that Re Novum, the landmark 1891 workers' rights encyclical, was released 135 years previously. With 1.4 billion Catholics and extraordinary moral authority, the papacy entering the AI governance debate as a major institutional voice is significant. The document calls for international regulation. I think we need that as well. Corporate accountability. I think we need that more than just AI. And human dignity guardrail. Absolutely. Directly challenging Silicon Valley's self-regulatory posture. I mean, all the things it brings up here, I agree with. So